If you want to stick around and hear ramblings about comic book characters, then you're free to stay. And if not, I recommend click off the video because maybe this might turn off some people who don't like comic book talk. Or come to my TED Talk, My predictions are that Marvel will become the next new DC, and because of James Gunn, CEO in DC, he's gonna turn DC into Marvel. It's gonna be so ironic. If I'm right, you guys heard it first here on my channel. Okay, MCU brought you Robert Downey Jr, but here look at James Gunn brought you t-shirts and a logo. I think it's just as good. In my opinion, I feel like that's just as good because one's a new start to a new era, and then you're also catering to fans. I feel like Marvel is just catering to buy fans, if that makes sense. Hi everyone, so today I am having exciting news for you. Well, for me, really, but for you guys, since you guys are the audience, I have a new microphone and I'm testing it out because I heard it and it was super, super clear. And I'm glad that it's better quality for you guys because before my voice was a bit muffled. I was using a speaker on my phone, so it wasn't as clear. But now that I have the iPad microphone and this recording app I'm using is different, so I'm hoping production quality has helped make it seem like this video is going to be more enjoyable. So
later that same evening.
So I'm using the unprocessed version because that's the only way that makes my voice sound good. So as I record this, the microphone is not on the new microphone, the one you're hearing, the one you're about to hear. It's recorded through my phone's mic, and this is the only way I can record it, as you will see in the post credits. But I'm so sorry. I really wanted this to be a great production, but it is what it is, and I hope that you can still hear the audio.
Oh my god.
And also, Comic-Con has started this weekend. By the time I upload this, however, it might be like it might be many months into the future and Comic-Con will be stopped being discussed. But at the time of recording this, I just want to say the news came out that Fantastic Four is going to be released along with Robert Downey Jr.'s appearance, along with James Gunn's announcement with the DC Comics, and I've just been inspired to talk about it because I was just thinking, you know, Twitter really sucks and I should stop being on Twitter, so why not just talk about it instead and discuss and see if my audience or anyone watching loves comic books as well, because I think many of my Tekken audience probably doesn't know this about me, but I love Marvel so much, and I love comic book characters, and I love that nerdy thing about just being, I know it's really nerdy, but I actually like that as a sort of a hobby or just an interest, which many people may not have known about me, but I do like a lot of comic book stories. First of all, let me just say for the record, when I say I'm a Marvel fan, that does not mean I'm just an MCU fan. I'm a Marvel fan overall, like in general. Like I will like the TV shows or even like, you know, comic books. I'm not just in the Marvel MCU fandom. Like I like all Marvel. Like I just wanted to say that. I feel like there's two different fans when they say I love Marvel and then they actually just like the MCU, you know, stories, but they don't or ever read the comic books. Like I feel like there's a distinguish between the two fans, and I just wanted to clear that up. It's kind of like saying someone who loves dogs or is a dog lover, but they only like that specific breed of dog and they don't really love all dogs, if that makes sense. I'm just using that for an example. But yes, I am a Marvel fan and I swear, like, just take my word for it. People who know me personally know that I love to use my Spidey Hideout channel in Discord and just love talking about anything Marvel related. And I'm probably the only person in there who likes Marvel who talks in that channel all the time. But yeah, me and Tati talk about a lot of Marvel because we're diehard Marvel fans. I have had like a Spider-Man cake, I have all the Marvel games, I have even comic books, like Spider-Man comic books, I have bobbleheads, I have posters, I have keychains, I I have so much t-shirts. I have so much footage of playing Marvel games, especially Spider-Man. So much, thousands of screenshots of just Spider-Man. I mean, when I say Marvel, I'm okay. Favorite superhero of all time, Spider-Man. Okay, Spider-Man, hands down. That's just how it is. That's just life. And so, yeah, Spider-Man I look up to so much. And then Iron Man. I feel like Iron Man would be the second superhero for me. But everyone thinks like you love Iron Man because of Robert Downey Jr. But I loved Iron Man before he made him cool. I made a tweet, and right here, this tweet right here. It was because of this show, and then it kind of got me into Marvel stories, but that's a whole other story. I don't want to bore you guys with the lore of how I got into Marvel, because that's a huge other story. It's a longer story. Today I'm supposed to talk about Comic-Con, and I'm going a bit off topic. So I just wanted to say for the record that when I heard about James Gunn popping up on trending, I thought it was really interesting, but for the right reasons. So here, he actually made the DC logo come back, and I thought that was such a smart move for them. I just realized how funny this is. I was talking about Marvel, and now I'm talking about DC. But for the record, that those who don't know, James Gunn is from Marvel. He just became the CEO of DC because they let him go after Guardians 3. And so, like a quick synopsis, James Gunn did 3 Guardians of the Galaxy movies at Marvel, and then the 3rd movie was his final goodbye movie, which was very bittersweet for a lot of the fans and also the cast. And I'm a huge fan of him because of that movie alone. Like, it made me cry, and I was not expecting that. I was not expecting to enjoy the movie so much that it really made me want to do film and take inspiration from him. So like, I look up to James Gunn and respect him as a director and like as a person, because I have never really felt that way about other movies in the recent past. So I kind of felt something just from watching that movie, and I was just like, when people have a moment, that was my moment when I watched the movie. But enough about me. Anyways, James Gunn he showed this logo at Comic-Con a couple hours ago, and it was trending because the logo, when I first saw it, it looks like the logo from many years ago. And for those who are not part of my generation, they probably have no idea what the DC comic logo looked like before. But here is a look at how it was many years ago. Alright. It had the star. See how this black one in the left bottom corner is having stars and is just simple as that? He brought it back, basically. And that, I feel, is the golden era. Well, what they say on for DC Comics. Because you know how DC Comics is such a, I don't want to say now, but because James Gunn is here. Before, when we would watch the Superman versus Batman, you know, you have movies like Aquaman, and I mean, it can everyone has their own opinion about those movies, but DC Comics logo from 2012 to 16, let me just say for the record, it looks okay for a logo as a design artist standpoint. It looks okay. Kind of smart to have the D and the C together, but for like, it doesn't have that. That's just my take. But besides that, I feel like everyone is really excited for DC Comics to move forward in a positive direction, because we all know how bad DC is, especially after the Flash movie, and it's kind of a laughingstock. Marvel is not as bad as DC, but Marvel is definitely going there, and I feel like my predictions are that Marvel will become the next new DC, and because of James Gunn, the CEO in DC, he's gonna turn DC into Marvel. It's gonna be so ironic, but I really see that happening, and if I'm right, you guys heard it first here on my channel. You know, I have the these theories, and people like to call people crazy, but sorry. Like, James Gunn sounds so crazy when you hear his ideas in interviews, but he's a real genius. And I feel like that's just for all people who are so smart and passionate. Like, their ideas sound so outlandish, but when it comes down to execution, they really nail it, and it really reflects their work ethic. And that's what I really like about his work, is that, like, oh my gosh, I could talk about it for so much. I don't want to bore you guys. But I saw an hour documentary of his behind the scenes of Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and I was just like so surprised that I watched the movie again a second time, because the first time I watched it was like Thanksgiving, I think, with my family, and so we watched Guardians 3, and it was so funny. It was so much fun. And then many months later, I just like kept thinking about Rocket. And then I watched the documentary and I was blown away, so I watched the movie again, like recently. When I say recently, about maybe a month ago or so. And so film is just another passion of mine. I know, it's a very I feel like only people who like film will understand film, and it's similar to those who are artists. Like, if you're an artist, you get it. Like, there's no explanation, you just get it. Or athletes, they will know how it is. Like, it goes for many other hobbies, interests, but I just feel like film is just such a topic where you can only discuss it with people who are interested in it, if that makes sense. Like, you could probably talk about it to those who aren't in it. It's just they will have... It's a different language, that's what I'm saying. It's just a different language. It's just like a different nerd language. Oh, I'm so not posting this. Okay, anyways, the point I was saying, because I ramble a lot, is that they were making fun of DC and Marvel because, spoiler alert, if anyone didn't know, Robert Downey Jr. did make an appearance in the MCU's Comic Con at Hall H. I think it's not Hall H. They always do Hall H stuff. He revealed that he was going to be Dr. Doom. And then someone made a joke that, okay, MCU brought you Robert Downey Jr., but here, look at James Gunn brought you t-shirts and a logo. I think it's just as good. In my opinion, I feel like that's just as good, because one's a new start to a new era. And then you're also catering to fans. I feel like Marvel is just catering to buy fans, if that makes sense. Because they know they're losing money, so they need to get Robert Downey Jr. to make more money. But ironically, they spent so much money paying him that it could backfire. And a Fantastic Four movie will be bad. But James Gunn is amazing, and I am just so surprised at the reveal. Basically, it's just all really interesting to see that Comic-Con is being talked about, and I cannot just not talk about it. I've been a fan of Comic-Con since 2017, when I was a fan of the Arrow and the Flash on CW. So every year, like, my family and I would just watch Comic-Con just to see their Q&As. And so I think it started off being a Comic-Con fan and wanting to, like, be part of that universe since then. And then Mark, right, I had to turn the fan on because it was getting really hot in here, and in my recording room there's no AC or fan or anything. I like to say recording room because it's basically just my closet, so I'm making videos in my closet because it's the only way to have proper sound and proper Yes, I'm a girl who makes videos in her closet and loves to make discussions about superheroes and comic books and nerdy stuff that will probably just sound really nerdy when you talk to it about... This is so not going in. Okay, what was I saying?
Eventually.
Okay, on the topic of Comic-Con, I feel like it's probably not a video that could extend for past 20 minutes, so I'm really trying not to make it as long for the audience watching, because I really did not expect to make a video on this topic, but just for the sake of switching things up, I thought it would be interesting to talk about it, because, hey, you know, usually when people ask, usually when people bring up the discussion, they're like, oh, you're a Marvel fan or a Spider-Man fan. I could just go on and on and on about talking about Spider-Man, to be honest. It's a great conversation starter. Like, if anyone is a Spider-Man fan, it's just a great conversational starter. So, if anyone wanted to know, I can also do like a Spider-Man talk. I don't know, podcast. I'm such a huge fan of Spider-Man, and the fact that I got into Spider-Man was actually because of Andrew Garfield, and the fact that I got into Spider-Man's Andrew Garfield is because I also played the Lego game, and the Lego game really made me get into Marvel. Short story, that's a short version, but if you want the longer version, you could have to write a comment below if you want to know how I really got into Marvel. That's a longer, detailed story, and if you want to hear the longer version, I will talk about it. But for video purposes, short story, I got into Marvel because of Lego game, the Lego Marvel game. I got into Marvel because of the Lego Marvel game and Avengers Age of Ultron. But because we're talking about Comic-Con and James Gunn, I just want to say for the record that everyone should just watch Guardians of the Galaxy 3. You probably don't even need to see the first two, but if you just watch the third one going in blindly, I like, it's still a quality movie. It can be a standalone. I feel like you just won't know a lot of the characters and some of the jokes, but it's just one of those movies where you can watch and have fun. And when watching that movie for the first time, I realized that they don't make movies like this anymore, and I feel like James Gunn has his own style where he makes movies coming from the heart. Like, he is a big nerd. He's a big comic book fan nerd. He's a huge Superman fan, for those who don't know. So I feel like when he is making, he's remaking DC. He's going to be remaking Superman and all the movies. He's going to turn it into a great, great franchise under his leadership, because he does have quality leadership skills. If I was okay, first of all, the first time I heard James Gunn was because on Twitter they were trying to quote unquote cancel him for, I guess, being a pervert or something to do with that on Guardians 2, if I believe. It was like during the Civil War era, they were trying to like paint him out as the bad guy, like he's a weirdo, he's crazy, blah blah blah. And then, you know, fast forward a couple years ago, the next I heard of James Gunn was that Chris Pratt and the cast did not want to do Guardians 3 without him. So I was like, if Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, they want to do the movie with him, he can't really be a bad guy, right? Like that meme in Wreck-It Ralph. Only my generation will know that meme, because I feel like the younger crowd nowadays just doesn't get the pop culture media humor.
You are a bad guy, but this does not mean you're a bad guy.
He's not the guy. Okay, so basically, that was when I first heard about James Gunn, and I don't know how it is for you guys, but usually when you associate someone with that, you kind of just disassociate their work. What I'm saying is, don't just judge someone based on their reputation. Try to learn how to distinguish their name from their talent, because I feel like lots of people just do that nowadays, which is understandable, you know. But considering the fact that I was so surprised that Guardians 3 was a really well-made movie, it just made me realize that he is sort of the underdog director in the industry lately. I mean, you could say that not many directors have that opportunity to have 3 movies in the same company, or able to produce as much as a box office as he did, because, he's working under Marvel Studios, and I feel like that's just a fortunate experience in itself, because not a lot of people can say that they worked for a Marvel movie and they directed that movie for Marvel. And sure, there's other movies out there that make such great hits or are very well known to this date if you go like many decades before this, but to say that you're relevant in this era and you're shaping like culture, pop culture, I feel like that's a superpower in itself. And I think the reason why he's so successful, in my opinion, is because he makes movies from the heart. And it's not like he's greedy or anything. He wants the money. He's doing it purely because he's a fan. And I feel like fans always make the best content, arguably so, and because it's not coming from a business standpoint. It's just coming from the pure enjoyment of the interest, and I think that's so cool to see. And I think James Gunn is just one of those people. I think arguably, I feel like in general lots of people did like the Guardians movie because it was so relatable, and because Guardians 3 was the most relatable movie out of that trilogy. I feel like just that's why it was so successful. I cannot speak. It was so successful because it related to so many people. Who are your guys' favorite Guardians? Who was your favorite Guardian in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies? Mine, I would say it's, well, from the outside point, I think it's Gamora, but on the inside point, I think it's Mantis for me. I really see myself as those two. I related a lot to Mantis in gosh, I can talk about this for a long time, but they did so much new things in the third movie, and Mantis was one of the characters I did not expect to like so much because she got more lines, she got more of a personality, she was more fun and relatable in the sense that made me really like her as a character. She's so fun, and not just because she's Asian too, but because I just related to her and I felt that connected to her character. In previous movies, Gamora would have been my choice, but I would say Mantis now, so yeah. Because Gamora is different in the third movie. It's not the same Gamora. For those who didn't know. For those who didn't watch after Endgame. Yeah. I don't really have a plot direction of where I want this video to go. It'll probably just be me rambling. So if you want to stick around for that, I'm going to edit that to the beginning. So if you want to stick around and hear ramblings about comic book characters, then you're free to stay. And if not, I recommend click off the video because maybe this might turn off some people who don't like comic book talk. Or come to my TED Talk. Or a fan. No, it's more of a clubhouse. It's more of a get together. It's more of a place where you can just talk about stuff and I'm just alone pretending other people are with me. Okay, honestly, people who do YouTube, you gotta be schizophrenic at one point. Like, because you're talking to yourself, imagining people are talking with you or hearing you, and it's like, is it just me, or do you guys also feel like that too? Oh, I'm not posting this. What should we talk about? Guys? What should we talk about? Oh, okay. Let's just make fun of DC. Okay, you guys cannot speak. It's 2 a.m. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. My grammar. This is when I say people who are not English native. See, there I go again. People who are not native English speakers and they speak English really well and they text it really well, and then you have like people like me or people who cannot speak proper English. First of all, let's just talk about talk about Deadpool and Wolverine for a moment, okay, guys? For a moment. Not how long this video so far. 24 minutes. What? See, I talk a lot. This is why you should not give girls a microphone, because then it just extends to like a freaking hour, and you just meant to talk for like 5 minutes, and I mean, here we go, rambling. This is why I enjoy guys' videos, because they're just like straight to the point. Guys are just so straight to the point. But this is just Star being chaotic. So I'm chaotic, guys. This is a Star-Proxima video. I'm chaotic, and this just accept me. Okay, at this point, like you clicked on the video, you knew how it was gonna be. You set yourself up for this. Okay, we're both schizo. Oh, this is why I cannot do commentary on my own, because it's so bad. Okay, anyways, Deadpool and Wolverine just came out, and apparently it's made so much in the box office. It made how much in the box office? Hold on. It's made 206 in opening weekend. Oh my god. That is crazy. 206. Okay, to be fair, the movies nowadays, especially in Hollywood, are not as good, because you got movies like The Flash and I feel sorry for that movie. But yeah, so they always meme it. What happened? Oh, it's like Spider-Man, No Way Home, Deadpool, and Wolverine are the very top movies, right? Then you have, Multiverse of Madness, which is a Doctor Strange and WandaVision movie, and then you just keep scrolling and you forget about it, and then The Flash had a movie as well. Oh, bummer. Marvel really is, I don't want to say all on top of it, but they are producing, of course, the better quality version of superhero movies. And I feel like that will change again once James Gunn takes the mantle and everything. But for the record, Deadpool and Wolverine, I'm pretty sure people will have asked if you had a question, how do you feel about that movie? I know Howard yesterday was asking me, how do you feel about Robert Downey Jr. coming back as Dr. Doom? And I posted my tweets, and let me just say, I wanted to see him as Tony Stark, not Dr. Doom, not as Batman, or whatever his variant is going to be. I do not want to see him and as anyone else. I feel like they just paid him lots of money to come back because they need the money. It's just out of greed. And I feel like a lot of people will also dislike that, because they ended it in Endgame perfectly fine. And then corporate has to come in and change it, and it sucks. Because it's Toy Story 3. Toy Story 3's method of returning characters just to make money. They're milking the fact that they know fans will love it, so no good comes from that. So I feel like they just really are so desperate that they called Robert Downey Jr. to come back. And of course, he loves his role. He loves playing in the MCU as Tony Stark. I feel like he's just there for the sake of the fans, or he probably misses it. And so I said this in my tweet as well. He just misses it. I feel like he just misses being in that limelight, I suppose. I love him, by the way. I really, really love Robert Downey Jr. RDJ is the coolest person, and arguably, I say he's better than Johnny Depp. That's just a hot take. Don't hate me. Don't hate me. It's just but yes, Deadpool and Wolverine. It's the first R-rated Marvel and Disney movie to be rated R. Rated R. That's a bit questionable, because when you think of Disney, usually it'd be family friendly, right? But no, Marvel just decided, kids nowadays are so violent. The rated R doesn't mean anything. And you know how violent Deadpool and Wolverine are? They are violent characters. They're so violent. They're not heroes. They're anti-heroes, basically, because if you disagree with me, you probably just don't know character writing. They are anti-heroes because they're not the superhero like Spider-Man, or they're not the villain like Venom. They're actually in between. They bounce from good to bad depending on their like moral compass. That's anti-heroes. I could do a separate video on that because I love discussing character alignments and like all that stuff. Like I analyze this for this. Okay. Just for the record, I like to analyze and talk about this because I love to write characters. I love to write for my story, so I take notes on so many other projects, writings, books, TV shows. I just love analyzing it because of that. It helps me write my characters and my stories. And I'm working on it right now, and I'm so glad that like my friends also enjoy my writings, and I think that's really sweet because it's such a it's a work in progress for me. But it's so heartwarming to know that people do like my writings. So I just want to say that. And yes, this is a way for me to do like character studies. When you study, it's kind of like homework. You know, when people do math homework, they gotta practice to get it down to a T. Or if you're an athlete, you gotta practice those drills so you get it in muscle memory. For me, it's the same thing but with writing. So you're like watching all this content, analyzing it, and taking, you know, psychology analysis of these characters, breaking it down, and then use it for your writing. That's how I can compare it and see it as. It's like that. But yes, I'm excited that they are together as a movie. I just don't like that it's under the Disney brand. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. I know they had the merge, and it's exciting that they can bring the Xmen now, but I just feel like it's a lot for Marvel. I feel like the Xmen storylines are there's so much from just the X-Men. Like so much comics, right? So much stories. I mean, you've seen they have so many X-Men movies. There's so much lore in that, and considering how Marvel already has so much characters on their hands, like they have so much to do already, and then they add on top of the X-Men. I feel like that's just so much work, or so much that they can't really process or control in a way that is enjoyable. It's not smart, because think of Endgame, for example. Endgame had so much characters, and we all know that movie was not as good compared to Infinity War because they had so much characters. And I think also my theory, because I've said this before with Tatsu and Polly when we were doing the Captain America reaction. Polly was watching Captain America, the elevator scene, for the first time. But I said this in that video, but I'll say it again. The reason why Endgame did not do well is because of a corporate issue. Because the Russo brothers, if you've seen your previous work, like Civil War was the peak Marvel. I believe 2015, 2016, that was like peak Marvel, best Marvel movie, right? It holds up to this day, one of the best movies, right? Because they directed it from love and also inspiration from the comic books, obviously. But because Endgame was such a big movie, they had to listen to like the company of Marvel, that they wanted to lay it out for the rest of future Marvel phases. So their raw heart, so their version of the movie is different from the company's version of the movie. And it's like that with a lot of films or directors, where they have an idea for a movie, but the corporate just says, no, we're doing it this way. We're not going to do it your way. We're going to do it because it makes the most money. And it's the same thing that can be said with music. People who listen to music will know, okay, this music's okay. It sounds generic, but it's okay. And then you listen to another artist who does something totally unique, and you love it because it's unique. You haven't heard about it. I'm pretty sure you get what I'm going with this, but it's like that with movies. So directors have one vision, and the company has another vision. And so that was Endgame. I feel like that's the reason why it did so bad, because they had that envision that they had to set up, you know, in the beginning. That's why it was so slow. We were all waiting in the theater when I watched it, like, when is it gonna start to get good? And then it picked up in the second arc, and then the third arc. Even the third arc was okay. It was so overhyped that the Pinterest ideas fans had about characters interacting on Endgame better than the actual outcome of the movie. And I was just so sad because there was like ideas. See, right now I'm doing it right now. I'm talking about this for a long time. I can ramble on and on. For example, there was a Rocket Raccoon and I think Bucky interaction, because you know how they interacted in Infinity War. He's like, can I have that arm? Or he's like, I want that arm. And he's like, it's not for sale. And he's like, okay, it's a metal arm. Or something like that. It was that line, right? And there was a fan who made a post. I forgot the idea they had, but it was basically funnier than what they had in the movie. And in the movie, we got nothing. In the movie, we didn't have that many interactions. And that's where the production's vision comes to play, because, you know, the directors could probably have something fun, like Civil War. You have so much dialogue and banter from those characters because the directors wanted to do something fun and they had a vision for it. But the company is like, no, this will sell. Let's just make RDJ like snap his fingers, it will sell, and you know, it's good to go. Like, and then like, hey, you know, who cried at the ending of Endgame? I'm just like very curious. Did you guys cry when Black Widow died, or when RDJ died? Like, I'm just curious because personally, I cried at both. Yeah, I was not expecting to cry at Black Widow, but I guess it's just I probably saw something in myself in her that I was like, it was really sad. Of course they're fictional characters. I get that. Some fans think they're actually real. Moment of silence. Okay, but basically, no. Spider-Man is real. Spider-Man. Everyone else is fake, and Spider-Man is real. Okay, I think this is the end of the video. I'm gonna go on to like 30 minutes, and that is not what I intended to do. It could be a podcast. Technically, this could be a stream, and I'm just entertaining you all, you know? But I noticed, for YouTube's sake, people who see anything longer than 5 minutes, they don't even end up watching it. Because everyone has such short attention spans. But yeah, 37 minutes? I talked for that long? Guys. Are you okay with me talking this long? I know I've done a poll before on my own channel, or just ask people in my Discord. Do you guys prefer I asked you guys before. Do you prefer videos under 10 minutes, or 5 minutes, or 2 minutes, or how long do you think the video is for it to be too long? And then most of them just said they're just here just for the sake of me being here. Like, they don't even care the length of the video. They would watch anything. And I was just so surprised, because I'm like, wow. You know when they say people like you for just being you, and they don't really care about like all the other stuff? I feel like that's so cool to have people who watch my content, like, literally don't care about what I post. They're just here for anything. And I'm like, to you guys, oh my gosh, you guys are the best. And I hope I can continue putting out quality videos. Of course, every content creator says that they think they don't post the best stuff. I'm probably one of those people, and say, why are you watching my videos out of everyone else? Why are you watching my stuff? I can have some confidence and say I really do like my videos and I like what I put out, but sometimes I cringe. I cringe listening to my voice when I edit, because it just, really? Me? Okay, no, but seriously guys, I appreciate you guys watching for this long. If I ever do streams, I don't even know if I would be this talkative, because, okay, we're gonna go off topic, but if I do streams, I know I can't do it like just myself, because my it's so chaotic for me. I have noticed that it drains me to watch like streams for like 5 hours. 5 hours or whatever, 4 hours, 3 hours. It drains me to like look at the chat and also like focus on the game. I would rather have my attention on playing the game and then just like casually like either read the chat. Like it's so much I don't want to say work, it's just so much anxiety, I guess, to do that. I don't know how some people do it. Some people manage it really well, but I just feel like I'm not one of those people to do that. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to keep this in, but if you stayed for this long at the end of the video, 40 minutes, thank you so much for listening to me. And I like I said, you could watch another person talk about comic book characters and whatever and whatnot. You decide to click on my video, and thank you so much for that view, because you know, lately my channel has been a bit quiet, and I know that's because I've been gone for a year and a half now, so I really do need that extra boost in the viewer attentionship. So anything helps, and I'm just already grateful for that. So thank you. And if you want to comment below, let me know like what is your favorite Guardians movie, and who is your most relatable Guardians character, and would you watch a DC movie with James Gunn in the lead now? And I'm just curious, like, is anyone like Marvel fans, DC fans? Like, do let me know. And if not already, join my Discord so we can talk about superheroes. We have a whole channel dedicated to any superheroes. It says Spider-Man Hideout, but I like to talk about anything superhero. So yeah, self-insert and self-promote my channel here in the link below. Okay, as you know already, I'm bad with outros. I'm probably forgetting something, and I might have to re-record this. But thank you so much for watching. I said that 2 minutes ago. Okay, thank you, bye guys, and bye. Man, that sounded so sad. I was like, bye. Bye! Okay, that sounded fake. Okay, you know what, just good night, good morning, but see you next time.
So, just for the record, I'm going to add this in when I edit this, but just like a PS, just like when Marvel has their post-credits, this is my post-credits. I don't know if you noticed I've ever done that with my videos, but I do that a lot. I have the post-credits and then the post-credits. For this one, for this video, it's gonna be me saying that I cannot even post this video because I cannot upload it. When you upload it, you have to have pro version, and it is an hour long. It only allows 10 minutes to share, and so I have to figure out a way to do this differently, and I have to re-record everything, the screen capture and also my recording. So I have to, I do not recommend being an editor. Do not use this app. Whatever it's called, what is it called? Do not use the app, record it. It sucks. It looks like it's a good app. It's not a good app. It's not a good app. And I should have stuck with my instincts and just used my microphone on my phone, because now I have to record the whole 40 minutes again. Gosh, okay, well, yeah, that's how you guys know behind the scenes. Anything can happen, and I don't know, I just wanted to let you guys know that it's not as easy as it looks when doing editing. Oh, I don't get paid enough for this.